Are we looking at a situation where American workers' wages as we head into this recession, especially with high unemployment, likely to start going back down again? And is there anything that can reverse that trend of that situation?
Yeah, well, I think wages will, for a period of time, probably not keep pace with inflation, in large part because the dollar's likely to fall, and that will put more downward pressure on wages. Now, over a slightly longer term, say once the dollar stops falling, so that could be a year, it could be 2 years, it could be 3 years, then I think there's a reasonable hope wages will begin to rise again. So if we had a large enough stimulus package, we could create enough demand, which would generate enough employment and jobs, that I think we would see a situation where, again, workers would be able to achieve wage growth.
How significant in this issue of wage growth it would be a change in labor law and the whole issue of reversing some of the situation that created less unionized workers in the United States?
Oh, it's a very big deal. I mean, how quickly you could rebuild the union movement's another question, but labor law reform, I think, is crucial to rebuilding the union movement, the labor movement, because basically, it's almost impossible to organize right now. They fire. You could just get fired. We did a study on that, showed 1 in 5 workers involved in an organizing drive can expect to get fired. So you do need a change in labor laws, and if you did get, higher unionization rates, somewhere back to where we were, let's say, 15, 20 years ago. I don't think we'll get back to where we were in the 60s, but maybe we could realistically think, we might get 15% in the private sector. That can make a very big difference because unions, they not only do they benefit their own members, but they set, standards for whole industries, whole areas of the country. So if we did get, a larger share of the workforce unionized, typical workers would be much better positioned to ensure that they get their share of productivity growth.
How do the Democratic Party candidates stack up on this issue of labor law?
Well, they all say they're for it, but here again, they might say things that aren't very different, but what really matters is what they're actually going to end up doing once they're in office. So if you want to see labor law reform passed, you're going to have a president that basically threatens Congress. If you go back to when President Clinton got NAFTA through Congress, he had a very, very tough fight. So he had to call up individual members of Congress and say, what do you need for your district? Do you need a bridge? Do you need a school? What can I give you? That's literally what he did. He was handing out favors, bribes, if you want to call them that. No doubt he was making threats. He was going, well, you got a bridge in that budget. Well, that doesn't have to be there. We could have it removed. So you need a president to do that if you're going to get labor law reform. So you could look at the House candidates, and they're all saying they support labor law reform, but the real question is this going to be the top priority for their administration, where they're going to be willing to use their political capital to push that through?